Hi everyone, welcome to another Tuesday Chit-chat video with me, Sarah from Homfray Embroidery. I think we're on number 9 now, Chit-chat number 9. So if you haven't seen the others, do go and check those ones out. But if you have seen them, and especially the last 2, you will know that we have just been away. So we have been away at sea in our role as craft instructors on board the ship Balmoral with Fred Olsen Cruise Lines. And we will actually tell you a bit more about that trip in another video, but I want to just show you one of the things that we saw on this trip because it was really interesting. It was fascinating to see. I have seen it before, but it was wonderful to see it again, and I wanted to share that with you. So one of our stops on this trip, which was a circumnavigation of the whole of the British Isles, which was absolutely amazing, and one of our stops was the south coast of England, and that was a city called Portsmouth. So Portsmouth is a port city, obviously, but it's also a big naval base, so there's lots going on there ship-wise and military-wise, and it's got a lot of history there to it. And one of the things that is there is the Overlord Embroidery, so we couldn't miss the opportunity to go and see that. So I'm going to show you what that is. I'm going to talk about it, and we're just going to show you a little bit about what it is and the museum where it's held. So the embroidery is called the Overlord Embroidery, and it's held in the D-Day Story Museum in Portsmouth. I'm just going to give you a bit of a background to it so that the embroidery makes sense. So it's all about an event that started on the 6th of June in 1944, D-Day, D for day, and it was the first day of the Allied invasion of Normandy, which was codenamed Operation Overlord. So its purpose was to liberate the occupied countries of Europe during the Second World War, and consisted of an enormous large-scale amphibious assault. I'm just going to read at the number of troops that they landed. So it landed over 156,000 Allied troops on the beaches of Normandy in France. So the Overlord Embroidery was commissioned as a tribute to those who took part, and it follows the progress of the operations from its origins in 1940 to victory in Normandy in 1944. So it was the brainchild of Lord Dulverton of Batsford. It was designed by an artist called Sandra Lawrence, and it was made by the Royal School of Needlework. It took them 5 years to make it. They started it in 1968, finishing it in 1974. So that's a little background about what the embroidery is about. So let's have a look at the actual embroidery and what's involved in that. It consists of 34 panels stretching to an impressive overall length of 83 metres, that's 272 feet in total, and it's displayed in the panels all around the edge of this purpose-built circular room, and it's temperature and humidity controlled to look after the embroidery. The artist Sandra Lawrence made paintings using wartime photographs of the invasion for reference, and then these were interpreted into stitch by 30 embroiderers from the Royal School of Needlework. Each panel depicts a different aspect of the operation starting in 1940. The technique used was mainly applique and used more than 50 different materials. This involves pieces of fabric cut to shape and layered on top of each other to create the different designs. The edges are then covered with rows of what's called couching, which is a thread or a cord laid on top of the fabric on the edges of the fabric and stitched over to give a neat edge to the applique pieces. There are areas where a few different stitches have been used with the applique, so you can see here some long and short in the face of this sailor. So this has been worked on top of the applique to add some detail and depth to his face. You can also see some gold work here on the cap peak of King George VI, and also on his buttons and the braid of the jacket sleeve. And if you look really closely throughout the embroidery, there are even French knots to add texture to the beaches. You can see in the information boards underneath the panels of the embroidery some of the original wartime photographs that the artist used to make the panels, and I think this really brings it to life. You can see these are real people depicted in the embroidery, and you compare the embroidery with the photographs underneath. Now there are a couple of mistakes on the embroidery. They're quite quick to point this out on the information panels below. There are some aeroplanes that don't have their invasion stripes, and the smaller cap badge that General Montgomery wears is a Royal Tank Regiment badge. Now this should be completely silver in colour and not gold. I only know this because Jonathan was in the Royal Tank Regiment and he mentioned it more than once as we went round. So he thinks that one's quite important. But I quite like this though. It shows that the embroidery is made by real people, and it was made beautifully by hand and not by machine. So Operation Overlord ends with the liberation of Paris and the retreat of the Nazis, but the embroidery actually ends with the liberating forces marching on to yet more battles. This was the end of Operation Overlord. It wasn't the end of the war. This didn't come until May 1945. There's a small exhibition in the centre of this space, and this tells the story of how the embroidery was made. So it gives more information on how the embroidery came about and the people involved in it. It shows how the fabrics were layered together to create this quite unique style of the embroidery. And there's also a list of the 25 embroiderers and 5 apprentices who worked on the project at the Royal School of Needlework. It's nice to see 2 names I recognise on there from my time at the school. So Heather Fordham was head of the studio when I started my apprenticeship, and I also worked with Wendy Hogg when I was down in the studio as part of my training. She was much loved by the apprentices, was always passing on her extensive embroidery knowledge to us. It was actually Wendy who made this display of one of the panels being worked, so it shows all the fabrics for the applique, some of the threads that were used, and also breaks down the processes that we used to construct the different layers. And it was lovely to see a couple of pictures of Wendy up in this section too. She passed away way too early from cancer, so I want to leave you with a little story about Wendy and her special contribution to this embroidery. So this is panel 30 and shows the city of Caen lying in ruins. So this was actually a late addition to the embroidery and was worked after all of the other panels had actually been made. So the studio at the RSN was actually busy at this point with other work. So Wendy worked this entire panel by herself. It took her just 6 months to complete it. And I did spend quite a bit of time at this panel just reflecting and admiring the stitches placed there by Wendy's hand and remembering her from my time at the school. So if you're on the south coast of England and you're in Portsmouth or near Portsmouth, I do recommend taking some time out to go and see this amazing embroidery. It is quite complicated to look at. There's 83 metres of it. So I found the best thing to do was to actually stand back from it a little bit. You can just read the panel, the information panel in front of the stitch, and you can see what that panel's about, and you can look at that. So you get to go around the whole thing and you get an idea of the whole story, and then go around again and go a bit closer and look at the stitching and look at the way it's been made, and that will help you have a good understanding of it. So obviously the closer you get, the more that you see. So I've got a little challenge for you if you should go there and see this embroidery. So have a little look for the submarine. It's out to sea and it's signalling with a green light, and it's signalling to the location of the beach where the landing forces are going to land. So have a look and see if you can see that. So if you've seen this embroidery, do let me know what you thought about it. You can leave me a comment below this video, and if you're interested to visit it and you want to know more about it, I will link the D-Day Story website in the description below this video. You can pop along there, you can check more out about that, how to visit it, how to see it, and there's also a little online shop as well. So I hope you found that little chit chat interesting. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. As always, we'll be back to making normal videos now we're back from our trip away, and video coming on that soon, and we've got a giveaway as well, so keep looking out for that. I shall sign off for now. Thank you for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye.